Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. I just finished doing a live version of the show, but I wanted to talk about this one even after the live version. George Bush, Obama, and Bill Clinton at a golf tournament, hamming it up, playing golf. Democrat and Republican presidents. Now, under normal circumstances, I don't think I would care if a bunch of presidents get together and hammer it up. But there is a war criminal in that mess. Two of them. At which point, just as a flat fact, George Bush said there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. There were no weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. Pursuant to that, George Bush invaded the country and killed 1 million Iraqis. The soldiers, some of the people that were being killed and murdered. Okay, if they were being killed and murdered, they couldn't stream out. But the refugees from those countries streamed into other countries. They destabilized an entire region of the globe. Now, at which point is this okay? Understand also, pursuant to this illegal war, George Bush was torturing people that was against our laws. It was clearly against our laws and international laws. But we're torturing people in order to get a link established between Saddam Hussein and 9/11. A link that didn't exist. When did this become okay? When did it become in vogue to be a war criminal? Explain this to me. Obama has his arm around them like, hey, how's it going? Yes, I'm out here with George Bush. Obama took on the last president, said we're looking forward, we're not looking backwards. And pursuant to looking forward and not looking backwards, he picked up the drone policies of the last president, expanding those, taking us from 2 wars into 8. One country after the next. Obama dropping bombs on one after the next, 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 after the next. Congress completely abdicated its responsibility to put a leash on the president. Congress didn't want to do that. Congress wanted to be hands off, so the president became a king. We have an imperial presidency. He can go around the globe and bomb whoever he wants. Nobody says squat about it. And because he wears a suit, it's okay. Because he's an American president, it's okay. The casualties don't matter. Obama killed thousands, innocent civilians. Bush killed 1 million Iraqis. Donald Trump comes in on the coattails of the other 2 presidents. When the first president invaded the country, nothing happened. Second president upped the ante with his policies. Well, shit, I'm Donald Trump. I'm going to make it gold. I'm going to bomb and murder and kill. I am going to move powers into the CIA so we don't even know how many people are being murdered. All of these things were elements from one president going to the next, going to the next. We've allowed murder. We've allowed unlimited murder to be an aspect of the United States presidency. And they're hamming it up playing golf. Look at how the media glorifies these guys. Oh, they're playing golf. As if the things that they did in that office in no way affected the real world. Think about what I'm saying here. These guys made certain decisions in those offices. Those decisions killed and murdered and maimed people abroad. This is not okay. I don't care what CNN says. I don't care how the media glorifies it. Call it what it is. The United States president made the determination purely by himself to go into one country after the next. The prior president had to kill this. The Democratic president had to kill this. But he was okay. He was the first black president. He was Obama. He crooned nicely. He sung. He had awesome profile. He had gravitas in that office. Does gravitas, singing well, does any of those things make murder okay? 90% of the people that we struck were civilians. Hell, let's say 50%. Are you okay with that? Does that sit okay with you? That many civilians being murdered abroad, people who we don't even know who we're hitting, and we're dropping bombs on those people based on sketchy information. I understand that he told you that they weren't killing that many civilians. He lied to you. He lied. The first one, Bill Clinton, passed through Republican policies. This kind of financial reform, getting rid of what is the name of it? Getting rid of Glass-Steagall. Part and parcel to the financial crash is a result of what Bill Clinton did in that office. They don't blame him for it. They don't say anything about it. He was an American president, and he's loved fondly. You go to the next one, Obama. Or you said George Bush. Like I said, invaded country, killed a million people. Not to mention torture. To the next one, Mr. Drone Strike. The guy who uses flying killer robots to mow down people in multiple countries. That guy. The guy who said he killed bin Laden after all of this deliberation and all of this other stuff. We were giving that information on bin Laden's whereabouts. The United States checked it with the Pakistani military, and after checking it with the Pakistani military, we found out that Pakistan did know the whereabouts of bin Laden. We sent a crew to do a hit job. First helicopter went down, the second helicopter did the job. They blew up the second helicopter. This was near a military academy. Are you telling me the Pakistani military didn't know about it when bin Laden was living near a military academy and they had enough time to blow up a first helicopter? You are being lied to. That's what I'm telling you. All of these people, at the very least the last two, are murderers. They should be dragged in The Hague. Yes, they're trying to regenerate George Bush's image for some reason. I guess to show a comparison with Donald Trump. I don't care. All three should have been put to prison. If this was an African dictatorship behaving like any of the last two presidents in the United States, they would have been thrown in prison. They would have been dragged out their countries and thrown in prison. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to belabor a point. It's just this idea that American president has somehow become a king. And that anything that the president does in that office, because he's wearing the badge of the United States president, he is impervious to anything taking place. He can do no wrong. I find this to be amazing. I just find it to be an amazing thing. By default, you've created an imperial presidency. You've created a king. That's what I'm saying. I'll leave it at that. Honestly, the military, and just put a finer point on it, the military lost track of $5.7 trillion with a T in 2015. They tried to pass a budget for nearly $1 trillion after you add in black budget projects and everything. $1 trillion. Are you okay with that much of your money going to this enterprise? You don't have high-speed rail. You don't have education. You don't have health care. 20 million people are still uncovered even after Obamacare passed. Are you okay with this much of your money being spent for these ends? We're murdering people abroad. We're hunting people down in cages, supposedly. Are you okay with all of this money being spent killing people abroad with nothing to show for it at home? That's what I'm getting at. Even if you don't give a shit about the people who are murdering abroad, at the very least you should care about what takes place at home. Your treasure is being spent abroad. That's what I'm getting at. You have nothing to show for it at home. Those countries in the West have education and they have health care. At the very least, that's off their mind. If everything else falls apart in their life, at the very least they know they can go to school. At the very least they know they will be covered for medical issues. You have squat. You've been sold a bill of goods. They've been spending your treasure, your tax dollars abroad, all the while giving corporations tax cuts in this country. The money that they're going to pay that stuff is borrowed. It's borrowed. So, like I said, even if you don't give a shit about the people abroad being murdered, at the very least you should care that it's your money going to do it. I will leave it at that. Alright guys, if you enjoy the content, feel free to share, subscribe, and of course, you can always support the work through Patreon. Thanks guys.